Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yaneli, and today we're going to be talking about ILNP's Illusions collection. Now, this collection consists of six magnetics, and these magnetics are very different from your silver pole only type of magnetics. So these are contrasty, these are shifty. You're going to get a different vibe with every angle and sort of lighting going throughout, so these are meant to be whimsical of sorts. As a disclaimer, ILNP did send this collection to me as gifted PR. I'm not obligated to talk about it, create content, post content, or do anything with it, but I do want to showcase these polishes to you all in hopes that it helps you make informed decisions on whether or not to purchase some or all the collection. All opinions and thoughts still remain my own honest truths, regardless of getting these products for free, or even if ILNP decided to commission me to create content with these. Like, my opinion stays my opinion. I'm not gonna get swayed just because money is in the formula. As always, I will have timestamps in the descriptions, and if I remember, in the comment section as well. For comparisons, this is a little unique. I did not have many comparisons, but I do have some. So comparisons and my final thoughts will be at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And with that, let's get into swatches. Up first, we have Hypnosis, and ILNP describes this as an orange to teal magnetic shimmer. I, however, did not see teal. Like, as I am applying the polish and I'm looking back at the footage, I can see the little specks of teal coming throughout, but as I magnetized it and all that jazz, it was very hard for me to see teal. Like, it looked more blue than it did teal, and I've gone back and forth with this polish so many times already that at this point I'm being hypnotized, and like, should I like tweak my brain into believing that there's teal in here, or is my brain tweaking with me and that this is just blue? Like, what are these illusions? Oh, princess. So I guess the polish is doing its job. It's hypnotizing me. It's giving me illusions. But all that to say that I did have a hard time finding the teal aspect of this polish. I predominantly saw like what looked like blue and then the orange, of course. And then overall, this formula was really easy to work with. It's at loose viscosity, so it's not thick. It is a little more loose compared to other magnetic formulas like Mooncats. But yeah, overall, I got full coverage in 2 coats, and I just can't see the teal. It appears blue for me. Like I said, I've gone back and forth a lot. I don't know if maybe I just got a bad batch of the polish itself and it's just not what it is. So I am a little sad that I don't get teal. Despite my woes, we do have to move on to the next polish, and this is Flipside, and this is a pink to blue magnetic shimmer polish. So this one did look like Hypnosis to me. It has that same purpley base to it. I think Hypnosis was just more dark, almost black, and just like Hypnosis, it did provide good coverage in 2 coats. And I will say that when I show these polishes magnetized, I do a 3rd coat and I make that coat thick so I can make sure I get that special effects going. And honestly, when I magnetized these and I later compared it to Hypnosis, the difference was subtle. I think it's because I can't see teal in Hypnosis, that it is almost similar to that same blue that Flipside has. Again, I'll go into deeper details later in the video, but yeah, just like Hypnosis, it was a very easy to work with polish, needed 2 coats for full coverage. Those with longer or wider nails may need an additional coat depending on how you apply the polish. And I always enjoy how magnetics tend to look, especially when there's such contrasty colors like this. The difference so far is that I'm not enjoying these couple of polishes that we just watched unmagnetized. This one is a little bit more of a favorite because the purple is more vibrant and it's more defined as purple, whereas Hypnosis wasn't really, it just looked muddled. Next up, we have Warped, and this is a green to purple magnetic shimmer polish. So this is a gray or jelly black base with green and pink shimmer sparkling throughout. I'm thinking we'll see the purple when we magnetize it, but right now, as is, I'm not seeing the purple. On the first coat, I got really good coverage, just like I did with the other 2, and then I went in with the second coat, and that provided full coverage for me. With the second coat, the gray did deepen a little bit, but the shimmer honestly kind of takes over, and it's kind of hard to see that base color as much. much. This is another one that I'm not vibing with unmagnetized. I'm usually a big fan of how magnetics look unmagnetized, and sometimes I prefer that over it being magnetized. One, it's easier to apply a magnetic polish on magnetized, right? And I'll be the first to admit it, and maybe not the first really, but magnetics are annoying little shits. As a swatcher, I dislike them because I essentially have to swatch the polish 3 times to show the velvet and cat eye look. And then as a consumer, I have to stay still with my finger and hand. Like I can't move. So it's annoying regardless, but here we are. I do enjoy the way magnetics are and the effects that they provide. I feel like there's more caveats to magnetics than there are that short-term satisfaction of sorts. Like there's a certain process you have to go through to get it to be magnetized, and then you have to continuously magnetize it when you apply a top coat, and even that won't retain the magnetic pull as crisp as you want it to be. If you're one of those that likes a looser magnetic pull, great. Regular polished magnetics are just for you. That's why I kind of like the idea of working with magnetics in the gel format, because I can cure them in 60 seconds and I know they're gonna stay. So that's just my caveat with regular polish magnetics. But anyways, enough of my little tangent here. What we're looking at is Misfit, and this is a pink to orange magnetic shimmer. Now this one, I very much enjoy how it looks unmagnetized because it just looks like a nice hot pink shimmer. It's unassuming that this is a magnetic until you pull that wand out and start doing hocus pocus shit on it. I know it's a science, it's not hocus pocus, but you better believe back in the days this would have put me on the witch trials. Similar to how the others performed, I got really good coverage on the first coat and then went ahead and did a second coat. And that second coat provided full coverage for my nail. And this is such a like Valentine's-y type of polish. You get the reds, you get the pinks, and occasionally in certain angles you get the orange. Unless that red that I'm seeing is meant to be the orange, to me it kind of looks like a red hot orange. So not sure on the colors here, but I think that's the theme lately is that I'm having a hard time finding certain colors that the brand describes in these polishes. But also these polishes are very shifty that you kind of need to wiggle your hand around in different lighting situations to get kind of the full spectrum. So here we have Unraveled, and this is a gold to magenta or pink magnetic shimmer polish. So again, full coverage was really good on the first coat. I honestly feel like this is the best coverage I've gotten on a first coat. If it weren't for the fact of being nitpicky, I would 100% say this is like the one coat that I need and be done with it. However, I did go in with a second coat, and that for sure gave me 100% coverage and of course better color payout. I'm also realizing that I kind of enjoy this combination of colors, the gold and the magenta / pink. It's kind of giving Venus flytrap vibes, specifically because the gold isn't that stark yellow gold. Like on the sides or edges of my nails, you can kind of see a hint of green, and that paired with the magenta-y pinky color gives me what I see Venus flytraps to be. Another caveat that I have, not specifically towards this collection, but as a whole, and I'll keep saying this until Barbara and the team decide to change it, but I really wish ILNP would just change the brushes. Like you can even see in their official videos that they struggle to have a clean application with their brushes. But if they have switched to a round wide brush, application wouldn't be as difficult, wouldn't be as messy. Like the square flat brush works out in my favor for my thumb because my thumb is kind of squarish near the cuticle area. But in the end, I just get better coverage, better application with a wide round brush. Anyways, moving on to the last polish of this collection, we have Alice, and this is a blue to gold magnetic shimmer because Alice wears a blue dress and is a blonde, which I'm assuming translate to it being gold, right? So this polish unmagnetized looks very frosty, very ethereal almost, I would say. Like it gives the illusion that there is some form of gray or silver within
the formula, but it's there's not. It's just that reflective almost. Like the others, it provided really good coverage on the first coat and then provided absolute full coverage on the second coat. I didn't have any difficulty applying this along with the others we have swatched. Again, the formula is just really easy to work with. Now, I want to mention the gold here because the gold isn't like yellow gold. It's kind of this pale gold of sorts. And I think that is giving the illusion of there being some form of silver because the gold is so pale and then intertwined with the other shimmer and whatever their color spectrums are kind of gives it a different look. But when you magnetize it in the velvet effect, you definitely get the gold to be in the forefront, and then underneath it you see the blue, but you see the blue best in the cat eye look, and that's honestly my favorite way to wear this polish. Now moving on over to comparisons. This is a little bit unique because I don't have many magnetics to compare these polishes to, and they are extremely shifty. But what I did want to compare is the first three we swatched because I did make a remark on how similar they all look. So we have Hypnosis, Flipside, and Warped, and the only time I feel like you can see a stark difference is when these are magnetized. But even then, if you go back to see the velvet effect, Hypnosis and Flipside almost look identical. And then all three of these on magnetized look very similar as well. So like the cat eye is the only one that really distinguishes them. And then for Misfit, I thought of comparing it next to Pandora's Box, not swatching it on the nail, but just bottle comparisons because they're distinct enough to where you should be able to see the differences. One, Mooncat's is more purple and this rich, warm gold, whereas Misfit's is that red/red-orange and the hot pink magnetic line. So very distinguishable and very different, so not exacts. And then the only other comparison that I could find within my collection is a comparison for Alice. And I wanted to compare it to Mooncat's Curiosity's Trap as they're, by theory and name, blue and gold or blue and yellow. And again, only a bottle comparison because you can tell the difference based solely on the bottles. Like Mooncat's blue is so deep, whereas ILNP's is more vibrant and a lighter shade. And then Mooncat's yellow is yellow and not so much described as a gold. And then ILNP's gold is very pale compared to the contrasty yellow of Mooncat.
So that concludes the swatch and comparison portion of this video. I've already said my piece on how I feel about magnetics as a swatcher and as a consumer. I guess the TLDR is magnetics are a hassle to work with. They require an actual method in applying it, in magnetizing it, and then retention is hit or miss. After like a couple hours, your crisp line that you had with your magnetic is now just sparing out versus being that nice crispy line. But magnetics are cool. Like, they are so cool. Once you get either effect going and like they stick to your hand, like you can't help but look at your nails. Like you just wanna do this all day, just staring at them, wiggling your hands around to get like that special look. So I enjoy magnetics for how fun they are and how fun they can be. They're just a bitch to do. That is all. Oh my god. And the fact that this was 6 magnetics, I feel like I was going crazy nearing the end of swatching, nearing the end of doing my voiceover and editing, and I'm just like, when will this end? But yeah, I guess overall I enjoyed them. Color story, I don't ever cared about those, It's just, oh, that was my chair. Color story was never a proponent for me when making decisions on whether or not I wanted to buy a collection. And it's not going to change just because I get this shit in PR. So color stories or whatever. If color stories matter to you, please let me know down in the comments. Like, what about this collection's color story speaks to you? Because like, unless there's a distinct theme, like I'm talking very specific theme, color story is just gonna go over my head kind of thing. So yeah, other than that, I don't really have other thoughts on this collection. It's just I think with the emotions that I was feeling towards the end of swatching and the apprehensions I had even before I started swatching, just because of the fact that these are magnetics and I know how much work goes into this, that I would say it definitely swayed my feelings towards this collection. So like, talk to me again in another 5 days after like enough time has passed. But yeah, anyway, this became a whole tangent. Illusions collection. Give it a thumbs up. Maybe 2. Actually 1.5. 1.5 thumbs up. Oh my god. Let me know any and all your thoughts on what you think about this collection. Will you be getting the entire collection, or are you eyeing only certain polishes? If so, let me know which ones. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram page. That's where I usually post nail art. As of late, I've been slacking in the nail art game, but I'm hoping now that this is all done and over with that I can go back to posting nail art. Like, I have so many ideas, but I just don't have the time right now. If you'd like to see more swatches that I did with ILNP polishes, click over here and it'll take you to a curated playlist. If you'd like to see other brands I've swatched, click over here and it'll take you to my YouTube channel where you can take a gander at the playlist I've created. And with that, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.